Hey guys, my name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video.
Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a review for episode 16 of I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here 2024. At the beginning of the episode, obviously we'd found out we've lost two housemates, we've lost two campmates. Fuck off. Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's video I'm going to do a review to episode 16 of I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. Now at the beginning of the episode we have found out that we've now lost two campmates, so Jane's gone and Dean's gone. So we have 10 campmates left in the jungle. Maura said they have mice on their board and they seem to be going under her bed as well. She said she wasn't up for a trial at this time of the night, and Talisa said camp maintenance need to put things away, i.e. Danny and Melvin, because obviously the task people have changed. Melvin said he had a great night's sleep and he said there was obviously no rain as well, which was good. In the hours just before Dean left camp, Reverend Richard woke him up softly, Maura squealed and GK explained that there was a pot left out, and again there was a pot under her bed, which meant there was mice around. OT said to Dean that it feels like people have been brought together by Dean and he was obviously the light of the camp, and Danny was shocked because he was such a big personality. Maura said it's always who you don't expect to go, and GK said that him and her had the same humour, she's going to miss him and it feels like it's been forever but it's only been a few minutes, with Talisa saying camp is too chill, and Reverend Richard asking who's going to not go and fetch our water now as a little bit of a joke because Dean was never around to help Melvin, and obviously, yeah, Danny was overseeing that task as well. The next challenge was called Farmyard of Fear, and again, another two people were going to be taking part in this. GK said that Colleen actually wanted to do a challenge the other day, so she and Alan both put themselves forward. Colleen said she was shocked about Dean going, and she's only done one trial, which is why she put herself forward. Antondek revealed they had to transport nasties on a wheelbarrow into Scales, and the other person would then have to go through an obstacle course to get that wheelbarrow of stuff and move it into the bath. The bath had to then measure a certain height in order to win so many stars. So Alan decided that he would go onto the top, so he would collect all the stuff, tip it onto wheelbarrow, and then Colleen would take said wheelbarrow and measure in the bath. Alan said a little bit of northern grit here. He was transporting things like molasses, rotten fruit, feathers, which I'm presuming didn't actually carry anything, and Colleen basically explained at the end of it that she enjoyed the challenge. Alan didn't know half the stuff that he was moving, and they ended up getting 10 out of the 10 stars. They basically said that they should go and pretend that they actually got like 2 stars, and Alan added they wanted to see Barry's reaction. And they both went back, and Colleen basically said that they ran out of time, they did their best, they got 2 out of 2 stars. And then Oti said, yeah, they're not going to probably have much food for tonight. GK said more rice and beans for lunch, and obviously the scraps for dinner. Reverend Richard asked whether he can get away with nude showers, with Oti saying that she didn't want to see him naked, she likes her priests with their clothes on. Danny asked Reverend Richard, Danny said to Reverend Richard about how he met his girlfriend, saying 11 months went by, and then she surprisingly messaged him for drinks and food. GK and Maura were having a conversation where she was telling GK that, you know, she's going to have lots of bad press, all the different stories about love, and, you know, Love Island, the show she was on about 5 years ago, there was still fake stories and fake news going out about it, and GK explained that it's hard to keep relationships private, especially when you are in this sort of world. They were both just sitting there washing their underwear in the water, so, you know, can you imagine doing anything better, washing your underwear in a dirty river with a Love Islander in the middle of Australia. The next challenge was Kev's Wheels on Deals, or Deals of Wheels, and it was OT, Danny, Maura and Rev. So you had 2 of them in the art studio, and 2 of them who had to guess what those drawings were. So in the art studio was OT and Danny, so OT was dressed as a board, Danny was dressed as a pencil, so we had to use the tip of the pencil at the top of his outfit to draw on the board, and it was up to Maura and Reverend Richard to discuss and decide the word that was closest to the drawing. So the words included house, shoe, hippo, rat, bike and kangaroo. And Reverend Richard said that it seemed like someone drew a sad shoe for the clown, the hippo looked like a whale, and Danny said that the kangaroo looked a bit like it had E.T. in its pouch. For their treat, they went to the ice cream truck and won sweeties, but whether they were actually going to win those sweeties depended on whether the campmates got the question correct. So the Communards, so the band that Reverend Richard was part of, they were asking how many times did they sing the word baby in the song Baby Don't Leave Me This Way. So it was either 9, 11 or 13, and yeah, they said 9, which was the wrong answer, so they presumed that the correct answer was 11. They obviously lost their strawberry pencils, and GK asked Melvin back at camp if he was to do any other job, what would he do? And he said he'd be a teacher. That's, I think, what he was before he got famous. And GK explained that she'd really love to do office work, have her pens, her sticky notes. And yeah, when Danny and Maura came back to camp with the other two, Danny ended up waking up Barry dressed as a pencil, so scared the life out of him a little bit. Talisa explained that she had caravans with her auntie in Essex, and GK basically explained that she had a time where she was in a caravan somewhere and she just physically couldn't close the caravan door for any privacy. Colleen was talking about a caravan holiday that she usually has in Wales with her family, and Melvin said he's only had one holiday caravan situation in Scarborough, with Alan saying he's never actually been abroad until he was 12 years old. Danny also went on to explain that he was on the Late Late Show with Rod Stewart, and Colleen said that she was excited to see everybody's reactions, obviously when it came to dinner, with Danny reading out the board and it saying that they've won 10 stars, with Oti saying that everyone was like, huh? And they had hare and mangoes for dinner. So Maura was surprised that they won 12 stars. Maura was surprised that they won 10 stars, and Talisa said cheeky little buggers. GK did her best impression of Reverend Richard, acting all posh and priesty. And Danny said thanks for lying to us, with Maura adding it was a lovely surprise. After dinner, we found out that the third person to be leaving I'm a Celebrity was either Talisa or Oti, and it was Talisa who was voted next out of the jungle. She lasted 17 days, covered in cockroaches, and she was on the fright bus and involved with the eating trial. She just shouted, "Someone get me pizza, it is tough in there." She said she can't believe what she just did. Antoinette asked her how she felt, and she said she was more appreciative of everything around her, obviously now being in that situation, and you feel different versions of yourself, and the best thing to do is just be yourself. She said in terms of chef skills, she actually researched some of the meals beforehand, so things like emu sausages or kangaroo sausages were the best meals, but the tail was tough to eat and tough to cook, and things like that needed to be stewed. And in terms of the sing-alongs, she stayed away from those, and she said that the trials were as bad as she thought they would be before she actually went in, saying that having to eat 2 spiders, she just wanted to get it over and done with. Her words of encouragement, basically towards Melvin and trying to get him a date with Cara Vorderman, she said she wanted to potentially make that happen. They did show a little voice note, but obviously with technical difficulties live, that wasn't played that well. And she said that she needed to be mindful of everyone's emotions, because obviously everyone has their different ways of dealing with things. And then in terms of who she wanted to win, she said that she'd have liked to see Oti win, because she's an earth angel and also a beautiful human. So that's now 3 campmates out of the jungle.